For the first time in 4 years, the Texas Tech football team is bowl eligible. Coming up, MCTV Sports' Nathan Boles has the details on how the Red Raiders secured a postseason appearance in grand fashion.
Texas Tech's School of Music is well known for its many musical performances that take place around the Lubbock community each year. But there's one biannual event that showcases a variety of skills that go beyond just singing or playing an instrument. MCTV's Allison White has a behind-the-scenes look at the Fall TTU Opera.
And there are hundreds of student organizations at Texas Tech, with new ones forming each semester. MCTV's Carmen Brown has the details on one new organization that is helping one group of students go beyond the classroom and get down to business.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Monday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Matthew Zimmerman.
And I'm MaKayla Glenn. Over the weekend, Texas Tech football welcomed the Iowa State Cyclones to the Jones AT&T Stadium. And even though many fans were hoping for a win, no one could have predicted the ending of Saturday's showdown.
MCTV Sports' Nathan Boles joins us now with the details on Saturday's historic victory. Nathan?
Thanks, Matthew and MaKayla. The Joey McGuire era will start next year, but this year's Red Raiders will get one extra game as they beat Iowa State 41-38 on Saturday to improve to 6-4 and clinch a spot in the bowl game. Jonathan Garibay kicked a program record 62-yard field goal as time expired to win the game for the Red Raiders. Redshirt freshman quarterback Donovan Smith impressed in his first start as a Red Raider, and the maligned Tech run defense held Iowa State to just 89 rushing yards. For their efforts, Garibay and Smith were honored with 2 conference awards earlier today. Garibay was named Big 12 Special Teams Player of the Week, and Smith was announced as Big 12 Newcomer of the Week. Smith's award was his first in his time with the Red Raiders, but Garibay, who's on the Lou Groza Award watch list, was honored earlier this year after Tech defeated West Virginia in Morgantown. Coming up later in sports, I'll have highlights from that game and Tech men's and women's basketball. Back to you, MaKayla.
Thanks, Nathan. All last week, Tech's first generation transition and mentoring programs took time to recognize a special group of Red Raiders during First Gen Week. The annual schedule of events was designed to bring together students who are the first in their family to attend or complete college. On Friday, First Gen Week finished out with the First Generation Champions Institute at the Sub. The conference invited practitioners, educators, and faculty from Texas Tech and beyond to learn how to better support first-generation students. Here at Texas Tech, 25% of students are defined as first generation. Brandon Cruz, FGTMP's director, says they want to help those students succeed during their first time at Tech.
If we want to see them be successful on campus and thrive, we need to create space and pathways for our faculty, staff, and even graduate students to engage in the conversation so that we can really think critically about how we support them both in the classroom and beyond towards degree completion.
If you are the first in your family to attend college or the first on track to earn a degree, FGTMP is available to help you reach graduation. For more information on the resources available through the First Generation Transition and Mentoring programs, visit diversity.ttu.edu/FGTMP.
Back in October, the Texas Tech community celebrated Pride Week, bringing attention to the university's LGBT+ community. But last week, another annual event took a much more somber tone as members of the campus community came together to honor a group of people whose lives ended too quickly. On Thursday, the Office of LGBTQIA Education and Engagement hosted their annual Transgender Remembrance Vigil and Celebration of Life at the Kent Hance Chapel. The event corresponds with the National Transgender Day of Remembrance, which honors the lost lives in the past year to transphobia violence.
It's important to recognize and honor these lives because their lives matter, and without uplifting their names, then we can't name the forces that are killing our communities.
According to Child, 2021 has been one of the most deadliest years for those who identify as transgender. During Thursday's event, 65 people who lost their lives over the last 11 months were remembered. The Office of LGBTQIA Education and Engagement not only hosts the annual event to bring attention to those who died, but to also help prevent future tragedies.
We want to honor the folks that we have lost, affirm those who are still with us, and remind ourselves that we need to continue fighting for safety and justice for our communities.
The National Transgender Day of Remembrance takes place each year on November 20th, but the university held this year's ceremony earlier in the month due to conflicts with the Thanksgiving holiday.
The Texas Tech School of Music hosts dozens of performances each semester, ranging from individual recitals to ensembles to full groups such as bands, orchestras, and choirs. But there's one performance that only takes place twice a year that showcases students with musical skills and acting ability. MCTV's Allison White headed out to the Lubbock Civic Center to capture the sights and sounds of the once-a-semester event.
The performance for tonight, we are performing Die Fledermaus. It's a German opera. It's a very funny comedic opera.
Last Friday night, the Texas Tech Opera Theater performed Die Fledermaus at the Lubbock Memorial Civic Center. Students held roles throughout all parts of the opera, from performing on stage to working behind the scenes.
My role is Dr. Falca.
My role tonight is the stage manager.
I am one of the ladies in the chorus.
The Texas Tech Opera Theater performs several full-length performances throughout the year. Several of these performances are performed in other languages and subtitles are provided.
The storytelling, just being able to take something that is in a foreign language like Die Fledermaus, or even if it's in English, and just being able to give that to somebody in the audience.
Even though not all of the performances are in English, all performances by the Texas Tech Opera Theater are free for all students.
I would encourage everyone to come see an opera. First of all, it's free. So as long as you're a student of tech, I feel like everyone should see an opera at least once in their lifetime.
Just give it a chance, and if you hate it, then you hate it, and that's okay, but you might be surprised on what a different form of art can do for you.
It's more accessible than you think, and a lot of people say opera isn't for everyone, but I would disagree. I think everybody loves a good story, everybody loves a good comedy or a tragedy or a romance, anything like that, and it's all in opera.
For MCTV, I'm Allison White.
This year's Texas Tech Opera was presented in traditional form on Friday and Saturday, November 5th and 6th. And the concert version was held over the weekend at Buddy Holly Hall. Two separate casts were selected for the different versions, making the opera one of the largest performances put on by the School of Music this fall. As of today, the Lubbock area is more than 2 weeks past the average date of the first freeze for the fall season. Typically, the first freeze hits around Halloween.
That's true, MaKayla, but it looks like the area is in for a dramatic cool down within the next few days that will finally drop lows below the freezing point. Let's take a look at the MCTV's forecast. The MCTV Tower Cam is showing some high patchy clouds this afternoon, along with lots of sun. Highs today are forecasted to climb back into the 80s today, making for a very nice afternoon. Tomorrow, the clouds will clear out of the area and temperatures will be even higher, reaching the upper 80s before sunset. Tomorrow evening should also be relatively mild, but after that, a cold front will move through the area, bringing some big changes to the forecast. Temperatures on Wednesday morning will start in the 40s, but they won't increase much from there, with highs only expected to reach the low 60s. Then overnight, we should see a drop into the 30s with a strong chance of a freeze before sunrise on Thursday morning. After a chilly start to the day, Thursday will remain cool, with highs only expected to reach the low 50s. Then on Thursday night, another temperature drop could lead to our second freeze on Friday morning. At this point, it's not certain which day the freeze will hit, but it's very likely we will drop to 32 degrees before the end of the week. Looking ahead, the midweek cool down should end before the weekend, with mild conditions returning just in time for Saturday's home game at the Jones.
November is Lung Cancer Awareness Month, a disease that affects hundreds of thousands of Americans each year. But lung cancer is only one of many forms of the disease that led to treatment, often at specialized medical facilities.
Lubbock is a medical hub that services thousands of area cancer patients, with some coming from cities and towns hundreds of miles away. MCTV's Patricia Perry joins us now with a look at one special facility that provides a home away from home for those dealing with this devastating disease. Patricia?
Thanks, Matthew and MaKayla. As cancer patients undergo treatment, sometimes they may have to travel to get the best care they need. The American Cancer Society's Hope Lodge is a facility where cancer patients that are traveling to Lubbock from out of town for treatment have the opportunity to stay for free. The facility houses these patients and a guest to keep them comfortable. The Hope Lodge offers a supportive environment where guests can share meals and enjoy a private room. To stay at the Hope Lodge, the patient must reside more than 40 miles away from their treatment center. Senior manager of the American Cancer Society Hope Lodge in Lubbock, Robin Gardner, shares how this free hospitality service can be beneficial to a cancer patient.
You know, when they're going through cancer treatment, they really have many areas that they have to worry about, and this would eliminate the worry and concern for a place to stay when they don't necessarily live in Lubbock. They live out of town. So being able to stay at the Hope Lodge free of charge would just eliminate the worry of a place to stay.
Not only does the lodge provide housing, but it can also help a patient build community. Being around others that may be going through similar struggles helps them understand they aren't alone.
It's helpful to know you're not alone. So while they're going through their treatments or they're having a day they just feel defeated, they know they're not alone. There's other people who can understand what difficult things they have to go through on a daily basis. So having that group setting is extremely important for their success in their treatments.
The American Cancer Society has more than 30 Hope Lodge locations throughout the United States and Puerto Rico. To find out more information about Hope Lodges or find one in your area, you can visit cancer.org or call the American Cancer Society at 1-800-227-2345. Back to you.
Thanks, Patricia. Texas Tech football may already be preparing for this weekend's showdown against Oklahoma State, but many Tech fans are still reliving the excitement of one of the best games played at the Jones AT&T Stadium in years.
MCTV's Nathan Boles joins us again in the studio with another look at this past weekend's unbelievable win and more in sports. Nathan?
Thanks, Matthew and MaKayla. Sonny Cumbie won't be the head coach next year, but he'll get 3 more games after leading Texas Tech to victory against Iowa State. Donovan Smith played very well in his first ever start. Here he completes a pass to Travis Kuntz, except, oh no, he doesn't. That's Eric Horn getting the interception. It looks like, but maybe Kuntz was down. We'll look at the replay. And Smith, he throws it to Kuntz, and it looks like he had possession and then went down before Horn got it, but the refs say no. It is Iowa State ball, a controversial call early in the game. Iowa State scores and ties it at 7. But here's Smith. Uncorks one to Miles Price, 39 yards for the touchdown. Tech up 14-7. And then later, Colin Schooler started the second quarter, or into the first quarter. Brock Purdy to Colin Schooler, the FBS active tackle leader, decides he wants to get a takeaway. Schooler gets it. Texas Tech scores off of that drive. They go up 21-7. And then later in the second quarter, Texas Tech's Donovan Smith to Eric Ezukama. A nice fade pass, too easy. Ezukama's second touchdown. They're up 28-7, and they go into the half up 31-14. Tech started off hot in the second half. Brock Purdy, the Iowa State quarterback, throws a pick to Dadrian Taylor Demerson. His first pick looked like he threw it right to him, but Tech couldn't convert. They go for 4th and short on the next 2 possessions, and they don't get it. So start of the 4th quarter, Iowa State, Brock Purdy to Charlie Kolar. He throws a touchdown. Suddenly, Texas Tech is only up by 3. But Tech figured out how to score. Handoff to Sir Roderick Thompson. He rolls left and gets into the end zone. Texas Tech now up by 10. A few minutes later, it looked like Taylor Demerson had his second interception, and even the replays may have looked that way. Maybe the ball wiggled a little bit. The refs overturned the call, causing chaos. Debris thrown onto the field. The refs cleared sections 22 and 23 of the student section, but all the students did was move over, and the crowd just got more riled up. Texas Tech still up 10, though. Iowa State did take advantage. They found a way to score. Pass to Brees Hall. Nice spin move by Hall. He already had 2 touchdowns. He gets his 3rd here. They go on to kick a field goal later in the game, and Tech and Iowa State now tied at 38 with a minute left. Take it down to 3 seconds. This is the one you've all wanted to see. Jonathan Garibay, 62 yards. Can he get it? He gets the leg. Hasn't missed a field goal all year long. He won't here. Texas Tech finds a way to walk it off. 62 yards. Texas Tech wins 41-38. Tech's last 2 regular season games against Oklahoma State and Baylor might be their toughest. First up, the number 9 Cowboys will come to the Jones on Saturday as they are looking for a berth in the Big 12 championship game. Cumbie said Donovan Smith will start as Tyler Shuck, the junior transfer from Oregon, is out for the season with a broken collarbone that he suffered against Texas. Kickoff will be at 7 p.m. and the game will be televised on Fox. Let's rewind back to Friday. Texas Tech men's basketball played against Grambling State at United Supermarkets Arena after getting a win against North Florida in the season opener. Texas Tech let Grambling State hang around, but Kevin McCullough missed a 3. Bryson Williams, who played great against North Florida, the transfer from UTEP, he gets it going early. Tech up 4-0 later. Santos Silva, crazy pass out of the post to Adonis Arms, who makes a 3. Tech's still up, but they'd let Grambling State play. Didn't really get ahead for a while as Bryson Williams, another play. 6 for 9, 16 points and 9 rebounds in this game. Kevin McCullough started to get going, though. He finished the game with 24 points and 9 rebounds as he gets a 3 there. Later in the first half, another 3 from McCullough. Texas Tech still a little bit ahead in the first half. Later in the second half, pass to Adonis Arms, who slams it down as Tech starts to pull away. Then later in the second half, Arms again slams it down. Now Texas Tech looking like the 25.5-point favorite. This time, steal from Daniel Batcho. KJ Allen picks it up, gives it to Malik Wilson. He puts it down to put the exclamation point on this game. Texas Tech wins 88-62. Tech is now 2-0 on the season, but they're still awaiting Terrence Shannon Jr., who declared for the NBA draft and then decided to come back for Tech. He is being withheld from competition out of an, quote, abundance of caution to make sure all rules were followed. Their next game will likely be without the star forward as well. Prairie View A&M at United Supermarkets Arena, tip-off at 7 p.m. tonight, televised on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. On Thursday, the Lady Raiders started their season with a bang, getting a win over Southeastern Louisiana, and Krista Gerlich got her 300th career win as a head coach. Early in the game, Texas Tech could not miss. Pass inside to Kadifa Faye. She gets up 6-0 for Texas Tech. Bring Gerlich on the assist. This time Gerlich to Ella Tofeono, the Texas A&M transfer. She gets the N1. She had a career game, the transfer originally from Sydney, Australia. Look at this one again. Tofeono coming off the bench. She got a career high in this game, finishing with 18 points in her first game as a Red Raider. This time, Shantae Embry gets the offensive rebound, somehow puts up the shot. She gets the N1. Lady Raiders could not miss. They shot 78% from the field in the first quarter. Texas Tech closed it out 28-8. Tech cooled off after that. Offense shot under 30% the rest of the way. Riley McKinney make the shot here. She had 15 points off the bench. But Texas Tech never let up the lead. Here's a shot from Lexi Hightower, the 3. She gets Texas Tech up by 19. Another great play here. Gerlich. No, that's Weidenheimer. Trying to find somebody. Texas Tech late in the fourth. Tofeono again in the post. She gets another point, and Texas Tech gets a win. Krista Gerlich, her 300th win as they beat Southeastern Louisiana 67-45 in the season opener. Gerlich said star Vivian Gray will be evaluated day to day, and the team will be cautious with her as they don't want it to become a nagging injury. Tech will be back home Tuesday at the USA to play Weber State at 7 p.m., televised on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. That's all for sports. Back to you, MaKayla.
Thanks, Nathan. Texas Tech's African American community has several long-established groups and organizations that have been giving students a voice for years. But as MCTV's Carmen Brown tells us, a new organization is helping to not only recognize Black students, but help them find success here at Texas Tech and beyond.
Here at Texas Tech University, there are over 400 organizations which students can participate in. Recently this semester, a new organization was established, and they mean business. The Black Business Student Association was created by the current president, Olivia, who is a junior at Texas Tech. Their e-board consists of 13 members whose majors are all diverse with an interest in business, and they are here to create a productive atmosphere that will be useful for fellow students.
So we decided to meet amongst ourselves to put together an organization to help us become more professional, help critique our resumes, or to get interview advice or internship advice to help us land future careers.
On Monday, the Black Business Student Association held their Pie and e-board member event in the free speech area. The event was conducted from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. with the financial goal of raising $300. However, they successfully exceeded that goal by $90.
We have a lot planned for next semester. First of all, we plan on beginning to implement our point system, which is going to help us establish our next board members, as well as the recipients of the scholarship that we have planned.
On November 9th, they held a meeting where they collaborated with a few members of Kappa Alpha Psi, also known as the Crimson City Noobs. Seniors Brian Akanwa and Abraham Mogus are more than ready to see the legacy BBSA will leave behind here on campus.
BBSA coming in and really, being a new org in that business standpoint is very important because now we have that, even the Divine Nine, jumping into ASO, NESB as well. We're really just starting to build up the Black community as a whole from the business standpoint from each and every org.
While this meeting was their last general meeting that will be held this semester, they have more to come in the upcoming semester. To stay updated with BBSA, you can find them on Twitter at TTU_BBSA. With MCTV, I'm Carmen Brown.
So MaKayla, had you heard about the new Black Business Student Organization?
Actually, I did. I attended their first meeting a while back, and it was pretty good.
Oh wow, I have to go check it out sometime then for sure. That's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check out ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you on Thursday.